What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Sure to like and sub, and let's get into this. So, Disney Lucasfilm, they do this a lot. They do it every time they release a series. And of course, why would they change, even though it gets exposed every time? Financial analyst or analyst, I've heard it both ways, calls Star Wars The Acolyte's global viewership pathetic and explains that only about 3% of Disney Plus subscribers watched. Also, let's not even get into the semantics of what they consider a view. It's under 10 seconds. So, yeah. The Walt Disney Company and Lucasfilm attempted to use access media outlet Variety to put a positive spin on initial viewership for Leslie Headland, former Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, Leslie Headland, Star Wars The Acolyte. However, financial analyst Valiant Renegade calls the numbers pathetic and explains that only around 3% of the Disney Plus subscribers turned into the show. In the article, Hailu reiterated the Acolyte's Disney Plus newest Star Wars series reached 4.8 million views in the first day of availability. This marks the streamer's biggest series premiere of 2024, according to Disney. Are you saying that Star Wars The Acolyte beat Echo? She added an exact first day viewership total isn't available for Ahsoka, the most recent Star Wars series, though Disney did report that it took 5 days to reach 14 million views. That comes out to an average of 2.8 million viewers per day, 2 million below the launch of The Acolyte. Note, a view is calculated by dividing the number of hours each title is watched by its runtime. All right, press X to doubt, but fine. Valiant Renegade reacted to this information and described it as pathetic and claimed that Disney is trying to pull a fast one. He explained, first of all, the views themselves. Remember, there were 2 episodes, so we're talking about a total runtime between what just the first episode or both episodes, we don't know. They didn't stipulate and came up with a viewership total, not to mention there's credits before and the end. So really for 2 episodes, we probably got like 40 minutes of actual screen time of acting. He continued, the other part of the issue is that the 4.8 million views does not stipulate from where or from what market that was derived. And when it comes to Disney Plus, if we go by what they've said in the past, when they report Disney Plus numbers for things like The Acolyte or for things like Ahsoka, they're talking about global views. They're talking about Disney Plus with its nearly 150 million subscriber reach around the world. That means that basically less than 3% of all Disney Plus subscribers tuned in Tuesday night to watch The Acolyte. They didn't stipulate the US like we know when we read reports from places like Nielsen or even Samba TV. Next, he relayed, but it actually gets worse. Let's read the first sentence again. The Acolyte Disney Plus newest Star Wars series reached 4.8 million views in the first day of availability. This marks the streamer's biggest series premiere of 2024 thus far, according to Disney. What other major competition has there been in terms of the series premiere on Disney Plus since January 1st? There's actually only one, and that was Echo, and that's exactly what I said, the shit that no one cared about. So of course anything was going to do better than that. Now, sure, they had others like X-Men 97, which still no one watched based on viewing numbers, even though it's very highly, and shout out Bo DeMero, who we had on with Gooch on his Diabolical Souls Presents. Real nice guy. Explained why he did a lot of the things he did. He's a fan. I believe it. That being said, even that did not get the views people thought that it was going to get. But we're talking about small potatoes kind of shows, or shows that were very poorly received. So I don't know how beating those other shows or animated ones would be very bad, or a very bad Marvel series that nobody watched is really something to tout. That so far, with virtually nothing else out there on the platform to speak of in terms of premieres rather, since the beginning of the year, that we were going to have to throw a party for this one, right? It's like, well, yeah. First of all, they're telling this to the normies who don't pay attention to any of these numbers. Next, he compared the show to HBO's House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon, much like The Acolyte, is a very large budget show, 200 million or so in that range, at least in so far as what we know. But let's look at what the actual viewership looks like for a seriously big hit show. This from 2022, following the season or series premiere, I should say, House of the Dragon, 10 million viewers, 10 million, twice as much as what Disney is reporting. But it gets worse. But wait, there's more. Sounds like those late night. He went on, the premiere of House of the Dragon drew 9.986 million viewers across linear, that's via cable, and HBO Max streaming platforms in the US Sunday night. Hold up. House of the Dragon turned in twice as much viewership as The Acolyte, in that case, just in the US alone. The Acolyte's numbers, again, if Disney is reporting in any consistency whatsoever, they're giving us total Disney Plus views, and that's in the first 24 hours. 4.8 million views for The Acolyte globally in its first day, in its first 24 hours or so, the platform, versus 10 million views for the series premiere of House of the Dragon within a couple of hours on a Saturday night. And on top of the fact that a lot of people still mad at HBO and Game of Thrones for the way the original Game of Thrones series ended, at least those last 2 seasons. So the fact that it's been able to overcome all of that, something there. Those numbers, however, are caveated, saying typically Sunday night viewership for the HBO series will represent just 20 to 40% of the show's total gross audience. And as we saw, that number of about 10 million expanded to 25 to 30 million for that premiere episode within the first week. And again, that was just in the US. And here in Disney is bragging about, yes, there are 4.8 million views in the similar time frame. Actually, I would say a significant longer time frame, some 12 to 18 hours longer than what would have been measured for House of the Dragon. After going over how poorly the show is being received by audiences, Renegade then predicted, I think this show, with that kind of word of mouth, is going to struggle to get it up to where Ahsoka was at 14 million. Again, global views in the first 6 days or 5 days, whatever it may have been, it doesn't matter. It really is not that impressive, and it's not that impressive because of what Disney spends on this. Sure, 4.8 million global views for a $20 million documentary or a $50 million show or a $100 million show even might not be so bad, but a $200 million massive investment in production, and they've probably spent, I would bet, another 50 to 100 million, which I would agree because they marketed it hard. The Acolyte, promoting the Acolyte, and not to mention the fact that this is a Star Wars connected property, or at least a Disney Star Wars connected property. 4.8 million global views in the first 24 hours is absolutely pathetic. It is, and again, has been pointed out, they have destroyed their reputation. The shows have done less and less. The movies have all done less and less. And the behind the scenes commentary and on everything they say about us only enhances that. The main reason I think they even got these views, it's because people like Chris Gore and other content creators just talking about how bad it was. And the third episode is going to get great ratings, because we all know that that's where the immaculate conception of force scissoring space lesbians comes in. And yeah, but we're watching it for all the wrong reasons. So on top of this analysis from Valiant Renegade, user Now It's Known notes that puff pieces such as this one from Variety declaring how well the Acolyte's viewership is do not translate well to the tracking data from companies like Nielsen. He notes Disney's big numbers, press releases don't always translate into big old number of viewership. Shared a screenshot of a previous article touting Loki's season 2 premiere, allegedly bringing in 10.9 million views in 3 days. However, he also shared a screenshot noting that the show had viewership of 446 million minutes viewed for the first week. So yeah, they try and get those. They try to get the fix in wherever they can. Let me know what you think of this. Are you enjoying Ahsoka? Are you enjoying The Acolyte? Started with an A. Same shit, just as forgettable. Ironically, I think I might be, just because I know the shit show is happening, I'm more engaged in The Acolyte than I was with Ahsoka, but I also don't give a shit about Ahsoka. No, of course, I don't give a shit about The Acolyte. So maybe it's just because I know more horrible things are going to happen in The Acolyte. So I'm sitting there with bated breath waiting to see what they're going to do. Either way, let me know what you think of this. Make sure to like, share, and sub. If you have done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you. And well, so long. Thank you.
Well, bye.